Hello, everyone. My name is Zachary Smith, and I am a member of the University of Nebraska-Lincoln chapter of the American Institute of Chemical Engineers. The purpose of this webinar today is that we are requesting funds to conduct quarterly blood drives here at the University of Nebraska. What I want to talk about in this webinar today is four different things. First, I want to address the problem background concerning the lack of blood in the United States. Next, I'm going to talk about our goals and approach as a chapter as to how we are going to conduct these blood drives. Third, I want to go over a budget breakdown of the funds we are requesting. So this is simply going to be a matter of discussing where we're getting the numbers that we are getting and how we are figuring those totals out. And then finally, I want to talk about the major impact this is going to have on our community, because we believe these blood drives will have a very big impact in our community. Throughout the webinar, there will be brief pauses. I'll ask for questions. I'll be open to fielding any questions at the time, as well as answering questions at the end of the webinar. So first, we're going to talk about the problem background a little bit. And it's a problem that, according to the American Red Cross, is a very huge issue. The Red Cross says that someone in the U.S. requires a blood transfusion once every 2 seconds. That's a lot. It actually maps out that throughout the day, about 42,000 units of blood will be needed for transfusions. That high demand for blood is compounded with the fact that donated blood has a very short shelf life. The red blood cells that are retrieved from a unit of donated blood only last about 42 days. That's a little under a month and a half. Additionally, the plasma retrieved from this blood will only last 5 days. That's less than a week. If somebody were to donate that blood on Monday, that plasma is going to go bad on Friday. So there's a constant need to get blood donations so we can keep those supplies up. One of the reasons we really think it's important to get people donating blood, get them out giving blood, is that a single pint of blood, which is what the typical individual will give during a blood donation, can assist up to 3 people. That blood can be split into its different components, and each of those components can all go and aid different individuals or the same person. Additionally, the Red Cross figures that 38% of Americans are eligible to donate blood, but less than 10% actually do. And that's one of the issues we want to remedy. We want to give people in the Lincoln community the opportunity to come out and donate blood at regular points throughout the year. Instead of hosting 1 blood drive a year or 2 blood drives a year, we want to be able to host 4 blood drives so that once every 3 months, these people have an opportunity to help. So next up, I want to go ahead and talk about our goals and approach as an organization and how we're going to facilitate the blood drive. Our first primary goal is to advertise the blood drive, and this is going to be done by the distribution of flyers by members of our local chapter. That's going to get the word out on campus to faculty, to students, to staff here at the University of Nebraska that we're doing this. Come on out, donate blood, help the community. Next, we want to place newspaper ads in the Daily Nebraskan and the Lincoln Journal-Star. This will help push the word further out into the community so that members of the city of Lincoln can also come out and donate. Finally, we want to be able to construct a mailing list of previous donors so that we can notify them when future opportunities to donate arise. We want to be able to target those individuals that have consistently come out and wanted to give blood and have wanted to help, and let them know, hey, another opportunity is coming up for you to donate blood. Our second goal is to help facilitate the quarterly blood drives. Our plan as an organization is to invite out the Red Cross or local blood banks to actually conduct the retrieval of the donations of blood, if you will. What we plan to do is schedule donation times. We want to handle all of the management of people. We want to be able to schedule time so that we don't have a rush of people all at once, and then people are leaving because they're waiting too long. We want to make sure that if people are coming out and they want to help and they want to donate blood, we're getting that taken care of. Additionally, we're going to assist with cleanup of all non-medical materials, so tables, chairs at the site, trash at the site, any paperwork that isn't directly associated with the blood that we can handle, we plan on handling. Just anything we can do to clean up the area of the donation. And finally, we will have volunteers on site to distribute refreshments to the donors. At this point, I want to take a brief pause and ask if anybody has any questions over anything we've covered in the first half of this webinar. So, moving on to our third point, this is the breakdown of the budget we are requesting. So in total, we are requesting $5,190. These figures come from several different sources. We anticipate our publicity costs, which is going to be the flyers, the mailing lists, and newspaper ads, to cost us approximately $150. We anticipate refreshments, which will be juice and water, to cost us $1 per participant times 150 participants at each blood drive, gives us $600 for the year. That's $150 per drive times 4 drives. We get similar numbers for the food we're requesting. We're requesting fruit and bagels so that we can give those that have donated something to get in their stomach, kind of help pick up those energy levels back before they go on with the rest of their day. We're again anticipating that's going to cost us about $1 a participant times 150 participants at each drive, for a grand total of $600 for the year. Finally, we are going to need to rent the space to actually facilitate the drive. We plan to rent Cook Pavilion here at the University of Nebraska at a cost of $200 an hour. We plan on each blood drive lasting 4 hours. So that's going to give us a cost of $800 per drive, times 4 blood drives throughout the year is a grand total of $3,200 for facility rentals. We're going to need to rent tables and chairs as well. Tables, we anticipate to cost $10 a table. We want to be able to rent 8 tables to provide us plenty of space at each blood drive, for a figure of $80 per drive, or $320 for the whole year. We get a similar number for the chairs. We're figuring a number of 40 chairs per blood drive at $2 a chair will give us a grand cost of $320 for chairs throughout the year. So you can see here, this is our budget request visualized. Cook Pavilion, the facility rental, is actually the vast majority of our costs we're anticipating, but we believe these costs are justifiable. We believe what we're doing is going to be a really great help to the community, and that it's well worth the cost. Again, I want to take a pause right here and ask if anybody has any sort of questions concerning the budget request. So finally, the last thing I want to talk about is the community impact this blood drive is going to have. We believe this blood drive is going to have a very large impact in the Lincoln community. One of the big things about the blood used to actually donate to victims is that it can't be created in a lab. It has to be donated by individuals. So by holding these blood drives, by inviting people out in the community, we are actually we're creating blood that can be used to save people's lives. Our plan is to provide the blood to the local Lincoln Community Blood Bank. And so what that's going to do is that's going to keep the impact here in Lincoln. We're going to have members of the Lincoln community coming out and donating blood, and that's going to directly go back to help members of the Lincoln community. This is something the blood is going to have a large impact because it can help such a large number of people. It can help cancer patients undergoing chemotherapy. It can help sickle cell patients. It can help individuals that have been involved in major trauma. Essentially, anything that requires a blood transfusion, we can indirectly help those people by donating blood. So to wrap everything up, there's a major need for blood to be donated in the United States. We think it's a very large problem, but we think it's a problem that we can address at least here locally by holding 4 blood drives throughout the year. We plan to conduct these drives through heavy advertising campaigns to get the word out about these drives to ensure that they are successful, and to help facilitate these blood drives by doing as much as we can to ensure the blood drive goes off without a hitch. Funding wise, we're asking for a little over $5,000 for the year, and that's going to be able to fund 4 blood drives or once every 3 months. We really want to be able to do these blood drives quarterly to give people an opportunity to come out and donate blood in times of the year that they may not already have blood drives they're going to and donating blood at. We want to be able to address those down times in the year so that we can help create a more steady flow of donated blood. So finally, we believe this is going to have a great impact in the local community. We have the citizens of Lincoln, Nebraska are going to be directly helping the citizens of Lincoln, Nebraska. It's a process that is going to benefit our local community as well as communities in the surrounding area. It's something we've seen recently here in Nebraska, several serious natural disasters, and it's one of those matters that if we have the extra blood donated, if we've encouraged people to come out and donate blood, then we can help those in need in the city of Lincoln and the surrounding community. If anybody has any last questions concerning the presentation, I'll now field them. I would just like to thank everybody for watching, and I hope you seriously consider our funding proposal. Thank you.